Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the same Unit 1 topics of software engineering. And in previous classes, we have already discussed about many of the topics. And in our topics, we have covered about software development life cycle. And the next respective topic is your software development life cycle models. Whichever activities we are performing in the software development life cycle are contained in different models, and using the concept of the models we can get help of choosing different life cycle models for different purposes at the time of developing different types of softwares. And when your software is in process, whichever problems you are facing also, you can recover out of the topics and standards and methodologies available in your models. Okay, let us start the models. In our software lifecycle models, we can have a concept that it is defined as a strategy which comprises of processes, methods, tools, or steps for developing software. When we are performing any activity through a automated software, we have number of processes to execute. And in order to execute the processes, we are using methods. And in order to execute the methods, we have to take help of certain software-oriented tools, computer-oriented tools. The CBSE, those we have already discussed. And while we are developing a software, we are also following certain steps of developing the software. And the models keeps these concepts, how to use the tools, and how the steps of software development will be properly implemented. And when your development starts, what will be your strategy, what will be your methodology, what will be your standard of executing different activities can be settled. In software lifecycle model, it is a series of identifiable stages that a software product operates during its lifetime. A lifecycle model is containing of number of steps, number of standards, number of methodologies according to the requirement of the software lifecycle. And in software life cycle, whichever stages we are following, all those stages either may be sequentially or may be in a stepwise can be available in your models. And your software life cycle model helps in controlling the activities to be performed during the development and maintenance of your software development strategy. The software life cycle model also helps the development team in executing and understanding the activities involved in the project. Whichever activities are involved in the project, all those can be guided through your software life cycle model features. The software life cycle model depends upon the nature and application of the software product. Hence, it is essential to choose a right life cycle model. And when your operations of life cycle models are to be executed, it has certain importance. And those importance we can feel that how the software life cycle model is giving the benefit to the developers. When the software development life cycle is under process, we have already discussed it has two phases, that is one development phase, other is the maintenance phase of the software. In the development stage, it refers to the activities from the first stage to the testing stage. First, second, third up to testing stage, it is called as your development stage. And the maintenance is the last stage where updating new features, modifications if any required, hardware software issues at the time of operating the system, everything are solved in the maintenance part. So when your life cycle model is under process, it should also follow the requirements of the development stage as well as the requirement of the maintenance stage. Okay, then come to the importance of using life cycle models. It depends upon the nature and application of the software product, and according to the nature only we can define what will be the requirements, what will be the methods, what will be the strategies for developing the software, and application areas where to use the software. According to that, we will develop a software product. And the lifecycle models controls the activities to be performed during the project development stage. It also helps the development team in executing and understanding the project development activities. As we have discussed some time before, the life cycle model contains a series of identifiable stages. Those are helpful for developing a software. And for that, the development team requires the use of the life cycle models for executing the operations and understanding the activities very well. When the activities will be understood very well, then only it can be executed in a right manner. And the lifecycle model helps in that standard, in that requirement. Got it? It helps in developing a high quality product that meets the project development schedules. When your product is in requirement by the customer, it always requires, it must be a high standard system using which he is going to do his activities. And that high quality software product can be developed and can fulfill all its schedule of activities when applied using certain lifecycle models. Got it? Different lifecycle models perform different lifecycle activities at different ways. It means there are many alternatives of lifecycle models. As per the requirement of the software product, a type of software development model can be utilized. And the different lifecycle models have different standards, different techniques of solving the developers' requirements. Different projects follow different lifecycle models because of that. Different projects have different ideas, different concepts, different requirements, different application areas. According to that, they require their own set of own standard of lifecycle model. Got it? The software development organizations have realized that implementing a suitable, well-developed lifecycle model helps to produce good quality products, and that too without time and cost overruns. When your product is in development stage, what is its major motive? Its motive is to solve the customer's need, achieve at a good quality, and develop a product with a suitable time period and without crossing the required cost limit. And that strategy, that requirement is fulfilled by the lifecycle models. And it is not for bookish purpose. It is not for understanding. It is not for only reading. It is already felt by the software development organizations that they must require a lifecycle model so that their requirements will be highly fulfilled. Their thoughts of solving the customer's needs in a more suitable manner can be achieved. Otherwise, it may not be. A good quality achievement is not a simple task. In order to get good quality, we have to deeply understand the system and solve the in-depth requirements of the system. And that idea can be fulfilled if we use a right lifecycle model. Got it? And when we use different lifecycle models in order to solve the software requirements very well and develop a good quality software product, we had to use different methodologies for carrying out the development activities of the software product. Without using right methodologies, right standards, we cannot understand the real requirement of the system. For that, the understanding of the methodologies to use, how to implement the methodologies in the respective purposes must be understood. The life cycle models consist of series of activities to execute the processes using specified methodologies, and those methodologies must be understood to be known by the developers, when to use, where to use, and by what type of operations can be fulfilled. The life cycle model allows the processes to be operated for the product from its inception stage to delivery and retirement of the software product. From its starting stage next to developing certain stages, delivering the system for purposes, and retirement or its finished state. From different stages, moving from different steps, it requires the help of life cycle models in order to choose different standards. When the processes of software development are executed, it consists of this series of activities, like your ordering of activities, reuse, documentation, testing, parallel works need to be carried out by the team members, coordination with the customers, like that. There are many points included in that, and those points are identified as the processes, and those processes are solved by the automatized software. And in order to do all these activities, we can use a right life cycle model for that specific system, and that will make help of doing all these activities. How to order different processes, schedule the actions, reusability of different features at different stages, find out the requirement of a particular method in different places, then apply the reuse technique. Otherwise, we cannot reuse the code. So prior identification only helps for reusing the system at a right time. Then documentation of the activities is also a major process. Without proper documentation, no particular stage is completed fully, we cannot confirm. The documentation is a proof of what activities already done and what activities are to be done. And the documentation is highly required. Testing. The importance of testing we have already discussed in the software development life cycle. And the testing is also a major activity. And what type of testing strategies are used that are chosen by the life cycle model prior to the software development. Then parallel work carried out by the team members. Whichever activities in parallel to be done, it must be identified from the beginning. Otherwise, we cannot schedule our activities very well. In the ordering of activities, we have identified all sequential stages, concurrent stages, parallel stages to be operated. And those are scheduled by the life cycle models. And coordination with the customers. How the customers will be called and verified for the system, it should be also previously identified, so that the importance of calling and making the system being checked by the customer can be performed in a well-planned manner. Got it? Otherwise, it may make your system to lose time. It may dissatisfy the customer at some moment. Like that, many of the drawbacks will face. Got it? and whichever we have discussed about the methodologies to use for the software processes. And the methodologies we use includes a single or at best a few individual activities involved in the development. And for processing all these sort of activities, different methodologies we are implementing. How all these activities will be well performed without choosing set of methodologies, without choosing well set of technologies, we cannot do all these work fully performed. Got it? And the software development organizations have chosen the lifecycle models as a mandatory activity to be followed before starting the software product work. Okay, the implementation of suitable lifecycle model is chosen by the software development organizations as per the system they want to develop and as per the customer's requirements. And those will help those can be solved in developing a software using a systematic disciplined manner to develop. And your life cycle model follows these rules. Systematic disciplined mode of product development help the developer in satisfying his needs. And when the software product is developed using different lifecycle models, what will be the real need of using a lifecycle model? We can feel the software product is being developed by a single developer, can be a small time requirement for the single developer. It may cost less. It may contain less number of strategies to be used. It may have very less set of methodologies to use, and also its concept is very local. It is very sophisticated. Only it is small area it can be implemented, and there we may not require a life cycle model to be used as a must. We can go for alternate of it without a life cycle model also. A small type of software with less number of strategies, less number of methodology requirements, less number of standard requirements can be fulfilled. When a software product is a large one and the product is to be developed using a team, a group of developers, then at the time of that, they requires different questions like where to do what to do, when to do, how to do different activities. And all those activities must be scheduled properly before the real software development work starts. And all these requirements are solved by the LCM or your life cycle models. We can make this point more clear by taking one example. How a team of members highly requires a life cycle model to use. When a team of members are developing a particular product, they must have good coordination among them first. They should have good communication strategies. They should have proper understanding of one another's thinkings. They should follow one another's thoughts. They should think of the product's benefit also. When a software product is under development, then it requires many of such questions to be solved. When we are developing a software product in a team, the team members' ideas, thoughts, if mismatched, then there may be many other difficulties. In such case, if they are allowed to do their activities as per their wills, and whatever activity they want to perform as per their choice, then there may be many problems arise, and that leads to project failure in some cases also. When the project failure occurs, then there may be many loss by the customer as well as by the developers, and there will be also loss of time, there will be loss of effort, there will be loss of money like this. So if you want to develop a project, then we have to think and we have to set our strategy that how the product failure will not occur in any of the situations. So without losing or having product failure, you can continue your product to develop. Then the right coordination among the developers are highly required. And let us come to discuss about this topic using one example where the actual requirement of good coordination is required. Suppose a software development problem is solved and divided into number of modules or parts and given to different team members to develop. After that, suppose the team members have given the freedom to develop their parts as per their wish. Then one member might start writing the code for his part. Another may decide to prepare the test documents first. Some other engineer may start doing design documents first. To his part that is assigned to him. This at last creates mismatching problems of the project parts, and at last that leads to project failure. There will be no proper synchronization of activities in this mode. Due to this, interfacing of several parts and management of overall project development will be also at risk. When the low synchronization occurs and mismatching occurs, misunderstanding occurs, ultimately it will lead to many of the drawbacks. In some other case, if one engineer develops the code and another one performs the requirement analysis and design, then writes the code, then the integration of both the parts of the software product may lead to loss of time and effort, as one had to wait till the second person finish the coding. Till the second person does not finish the coding, the first person with his coding is waiting to integrate both of the parts. The integration requires the first part's detailed information and the second part's detailed information to combine together and tested whether they are running successfully or not. If the action of first developer of writing code is finished, second developer's writing code is not finished, so they have to wait. First one have to wait for integrating the second one. So at that time, the effort loss occurs. The first person is bearing a wastage of time. Got it? Because of these reasons, the selection and implementation of suitable lifecycle models are highly important, as they contain the scheduling of activities for different actions by the actors at the right time. When a software product is under development, it requires many of the concerns to be followed. So if the software product is developed in team, it requires so much understanding, so much carefulness, so much proper strategies to be thought about it. Got it? And if we want to choose a right life cycle model for a particular software product, then we must have to think about what are the standards available in different alternative life cycle models, and which standard life cycle model can be implemented for a specific purpose. In order to successfully complete a particular product to be fully developed, it should contain a suitable life cycle model to be chosen. Otherwise, the actions may be incomplete. The motive of reaching at a right system will be incomplete. And for this, available of featured life cycle models should be identified and applied. Which life cycle model contains what type of features, and those type of features will be implementable in which type of system, that will be identified, then chosen. And for this, we have to know regarding the activities, the standards, the methodologies, those are available in different life cycle models. Otherwise, we may not solve our need of implementing a right model at a right place. There are many type of life cycle models available, and those life cycle models, which one is applied to be implemented in which type of system, must be chosen at the beginning as per the requirement, and then it must be documented as per the project requirements. Without documentation also, a proper life cycle model cannot be implemented for solving the needs of the project. And the documentation also provides many benefits to the developer. Like, it makes the system activities precise, clearly understandable. It prevents misinterpretations if any occurs at the time of product development. Identifies the inconsistencies present in the system. Identifies the redundancies, those are going to occur. The redundancies may create many other difficulties also, and omissions in the software development process. If a product is verified, being checked, whatever activities to be applied inside it prior to the action starts, then there will be less chances of getting omissions of certain points. So the major requirement inside a system is solving all the inconsistencies, managing the redundancies, those are going to occur, and identify if any of the points are left behind to recover. And this type of major needs are priorly documented, identified in the lifecycle models. Those are going to give the developer the highest benefit in order to reach at a good quality system. And when we are thinking about which type of model to be implemented for what purpose, we have to know what are the alternative type of models we have and what are their implementations. There are different type of life cycle models, like the points listed below, listed here. Your classical life cycle model. It is also known as your classical waterfall model. The second one is iterative waterfall model. Third one, prototype model. Evolutionary life cycle model is the next one. And the spiral model or the meta model is the next one. These are your required models. Those are present in your latest points to discuss as per your syllabus. But these are not enough to be known. There are so many life cycle models also available. Out of these, as per your syllabus to cover, we'll discuss about these models. And let us have certain idea regarding what are these, the requirements of these models, and whether it can be implemented for solving your needs of developing a project. If you'll go for thinking about classical waterfall model, as per the concept, the waterfall is a linear sequential step. It will have a cascade of the life cycle phases that is moving from a top part to the bottom part as the water falls from a top portion to the ending portion in stream. Got it? Your classical waterfall model consists of the first stage of software development at the first step, then second step after that, then third step after that, then next step, then next step, then next step, like that. In a sequential manner, step-by-step manner, the actions will be carried out in the classical waterfall model. You cannot think using a classical waterfall model for practical software product to develop, because there are many drawbacks available in the classical waterfall model. It only contains sequential step of activities to be performed, to make the concept simpler. But we cannot implement it for any type of product or practical products or real-time software development products, because it does not contain the feedbacking facility. If any problem arises at a particular stage of the software development model or stage, then it cannot come back and identify the problems and make changes and allow modifications to be made. The classical waterfall model once completes a phase and goes to the next phase, it cannot go back, it cannot look at back, it cannot go backward and make changes. So to go to a next step, we must have to complete the first step very well, then only we will go to the next step. So here it may cause many other problems of wastage of time, thinking about a particular stage, whether it is completed fully or not. For that you may lose many time also. And afterwards also, if you are thought that the whole problems all the problems are identified, and we are going to, we are ready to move to a next stage also, we cannot be confirmed, because human being may make many errors at any time. Always the brain of the developer may not be fully okay to identify all the problems. So if some of the points left behind in any of the stages, then that cannot be error free. So here you will have a great loss after moving to certain other steps. Got it? So you can think about discussing about classical waterfall model, knowing the standards available in the classical waterfall model can make you understood the activities those are going to be performed in other life cycle models. Got it? The classical waterfall model gives idea that how all other models are going to be used. So if you read about classical waterfall model, you can also understand the strategies implemented in other life cycle models. Got it? For that, we should have to know about the classical waterfall model very well, how it works, how it moves step by step, and how it performs its role. And whatever problems are identified, whatever risks are identified, whatever drawbacks we are getting in classical waterfall models, so that it can be recovered in other life cycle models. Got it? As an alternative of classical waterfall model and solving the direct problems of classical waterfall model, we can think about using an iterative waterfall model. In iterative waterfall model, we have iteration of each stage. If a particular stage is completed in the linear manner and we have moved to the next stage and we felt that in the previous stage there was a mistake, we can go back and solve the mistake and come back to the second stage again. This facility is directly available in the iterative waterfall model. And rest all of the life cycle models have these feedbacking facility, moving back to the other stages, identify the errors and rectify the errors in whichever stage it is. So these are not major points in other life cycle models. Only if you leave about waterfall model. In case of your iterative waterfall model, it provides you cycle of activities to be performed again and again also if required. Then come to prototype model. The prototype model is highly implemented and highly beneficial to the user because it contains a prototype or a toy model to be prepared before the real product development starts. So if the real development product starts, if any of the drawbacks occurs, if any of the points are supposed to be missed, then those can be identified and recovered in the prototype model. The prototype model prepares a rough idea, a raw model of the product being developed, and the prototype is being checked whether it is highly suitable for the product or not. If it is identified that it is not highly beneficial, then its requirements are refined and the prototype is rebuilt and rechecked by the customer and rechecked by the developer whether it is going to solve the customer's needs or not. And in case of your evolutionary life cycle model, you can think about solving large problems by distributing the problem into several parts or modules and separately develop each and every module individually. After that, the combined feature of all the modules you can implement at last. Inside the evolutionary model, you can go for upgrading feature. If a particular software system becomes outdated, it can be upgraded to the new concepts and reused inside the system. And if a particular system is divided into small modules, each and every module can be developed gradually in next set of stages and implemented at the last. Then come to the spiral model. Spiral model is also called as meta model because it contains the concept of all other models to be implemented inside it. It also takes help of iterative waterfall model. It also takes help of prototype model inside it. And because it is the combination of all other models called as meta model. The spiral model can solve any type of systems. Normally, when we have a large system in hand to develop, and it is also a riskier or complex system, we can directly think about utilizing the spiral model because the whole system will be distributed into number of small set of threads, and each and every thread will be separately developed and gradually it will complete the percentage of system development. As in the spirals, we are performing all set of activities to be executed. Each and every part of the software product performs all its set of activities at a first round. The spiral model, in order to solve the system, will contain number of parts of the system, and each and every part is executing all the software development stages. And at last, after several number of spirals, the product is at hand with the developer, and he can submit it to the customer after customer satisfaction or evaluation by adding the maintenance features at the end. If we want, in spiral model, many of the prototypes can be implemented in different modules so that it can make confirm that all its parts are foolproof and fully prepared without any problem. Got it? These are all about your concept of the life cycle models. We will discuss in the next class in detail about all these life cycle models. So be attentive students and alert for the next video to get, in which we will discuss about all other life cycle models, in which the in-depth discussion about the life cycle models and how it works we can get.